Welcome to your drawing the final draft in 3-point perspective quick demonstration. You're going to want to have your sketches next to you. There's that strip of poster board that we're going to use as a long ruler, your regular ruler, and the final draft is the 12 by 18 paper, so 12 by 18. I went ahead and did my border, so I already traced the plastic ruler all the way around. Put your nomenclature, name and period at the bottom. And then of course, if yours is vertical, turn it vertical. Okay, so the final draft is a little bit more horizontal or a little bit more vertical than your sketches. And so it's a little bit longer. So therefore I am gonna put my vanishing points 1 and 2, left and right, like in the border. So what I usually do is, you can measure if you want, or you can also eyeball. So let's say this is 6 inches and the horizon line is like 1 inch down, so it's like 1/6. And so this measurement is about 10 inches. So I would probably come down maybe to 2 inches. So you're kind of estimating, if you like the layout, so I'm using this sketch of like where I have just like a little bit of sky. So I'm going to give myself a marker in my border, like 2 inches, 2 inches over here. I'm going to use my strip of poster board as a ruler. And remember, you're going to draw super lightly. So hold your pencil in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to put VP1 and VP2 on the very edge of the paper on the ends of the horizon line. All right, then my third vanishing point was in the middle, so I am going to bring it down into my border, somewhere in the middle. Okay, so then from there, you look at like, where did you start? So I started with this first corner, which was like halfway, about halfway down. So halfway down for the 10 inches, about 5. So I'm gonna do a quick, like super light guideline with, I didn't come all the way to the vanishing point. There's that part, and I'm just gonna quickly sketch my first one to see if I like the size of it. Over here, super lightly, cut off. Yeah, I feel like that will be fine. Actually, I would maybe move my horizon line up a little bit, but I do want like mountains, and I do want to put a sun up in there to use as a vanishing point. So just think about like, am I gonna have enough room for everything? The only difference is I'm gonna probably space these out just a little bit more, so I have more room in between, because I actually have more room on my paper now. So as you're starting your final draft, remember that when you're drawing a vertical line, you need to line up your ruler with the edge of the paper, or remember that all of your corners line up with your third vanishing point. I'm just looking at, and I go about there. So you want to draw super, 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 super lightly. And then remember that if you don't need to go, like I know it's going to end somewhere over here, I'm going to cut it off. So I'm just going to trace as far as I need, and maybe a little bit past, so you can always erase. I'm going to do the other side. Okay, now, so my top went to the right vanishing point, my bottom's gonna go to the right vanishing point. So super lightly, I'm trying to hold my pencil in the middle or at the end. Because a lot of you are probably not gonna do a whole lot with your negative space, you don't wanna have all your lines of convergence showing, sorry. I'm just double checking my sketch. So I want that to come out a little bit. Then this corner lines up with the third vanishing point. So again, I'm only gonna draw, so this side was a lot wider. So I'm gonna go like here. I'm only gonna draw as much as I need. So that does line up with the vanishing point, but I don't need all of it, so I don't wanna draw all of it. And so remember to draw super lightly because you still might mess up, and that's okay. You just need to erase it so nobody knows. And then the other thing is, like, once you kind of have some stuff drawn, remember that, like, as I'm working over here, then I would put something underneath my hand so that I can work over here. So just be careful with, like, getting your paper all dirty. I mean, we'll clean it up before we start shading and stuff, but if you have to touch it, try to touch in the border because fingerprints happen now, and we are going to shade with graphite, and then the graphite's like dusting for fingerprints, and then suddenly it's a crime scene all over your paper. So I'm going to do... And so I would mass produce. So notice how I did like all of my corners at once. Okay, so then if I'm gonna cut off, then I would do all my cutoffs at once. So it's gonna go to the opposite vanishing point. Okay. And we have a corner. And then opposite vanishing point. And then I would clean up and erase as I go. And then I would open that up and do all my pieces. So I would draw the building that's closest to you first and draw it super light. And if it's too big or too small, then you can make adjustments on this building that's closest to you, which will then determine the size of everything else. So kind of like sketch it out super, super lightly to make sure like, okay, yeah, it's gonna kind of fit how I want. Draw the building that's closest, make sure you like the size of it, and it looks like everything else is gonna fit according to your sketch. So it looks like, okay, I'm gonna have room here for this piece, I'm gonna have room for this piece, I'm gonna have those planks, and I'm still gonna have room for like my mountains and stuff. So if you want your vanishing points to be a little bit closer, you can put them like on the edge of your border if you want to, but remember VP 1 and 2 always go on the horizon line. That third vanishing point is the one that you can move around. Remember that the corner and the sides of everything go to the third vanishing point. If you're gonna draw the top of something, or the bottom actually, the back corners go to the opposite vanishing point. Okay, good luck. Have fun, draw super lightly. You're gonna end up tracing with pen and shading, so we want the pencil to be super light so you don't have to fix it later. Okay, good luck.